welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So we've been busy today, and I thought I'd show you how to make giblet gravy for Thanksgiving or Christmas or anytime you have a turkey. It's delicious. You can actually do this with chicken as well. So I'll show you how I've always made my Thanksgiving gravy, and then you're not so rushed at the very end to get everything together. This cooks all day. It's just delicious. I hope this brings you along and that it inspires you to maybe make your gravy a little different this year. And so this is the way my grandmother did it, and so passed down from generation to generation. Here we go. And I'm passing it on. Okay, so as you sit there, I hope that you give me a thumbs up along the way, share it on your Facebook page, and let me know if you make it this year and how it came out for you. It's super easy, but you know, some people never think of it. So I'll leave a link in the description box to my Facebook page. Please go over and like that page so you get all the updates, see who I'm watching, who I'm talking with, what's going on over there. I've also got my Wild Tree website in the description box, a link to that. You can go shopping for Christmas, some organic food products, spices, that kind of thing. Put some beautiful baskets together, or you could become a representative and earn some extra money or make a living at it. There are people that make a living at it. So anyways, I hope it inspires you to stay along, and let's go make some gravy. Come on. Okay guys, this is super easy, so have a seat and let's get to this. I'll explain to you what I've done already. So what I've got here in the pan is when I wash the turkey, and I always wash my turkey inside and out with cool water, and make sure that any bacteria on the skin might be gone. I do the same with my chicken. I don't trust manufacturers to handle my food. So that being said, after I've washed the turkey, I take the tail portion off, the neck and gizzard and liver and heart out of the bird. And I'm only using the tail portion for flavoring. There is some meat in there, but it's really more for flavor from the fat off the bird. And so what I'm going to do, I've also got some aromatics in here. I've got some herbs. I have an onion, some celery. Sometimes I'll put carrots in there. It helps flavor this broth. And so what I'm going to do, if you can see that, is I'm going to strain this off. Because we really don't need all that, right? Oop, and I made a big mess. And that's okay, because mess is clean, right? So let's clean up our mess. Okay. And I'll be able to clean that up pretty easy. All right, so now that we've done that, and I'm straining this off because I don't need all that in my gravy at all, right? So I want to make sure that you get the onion out of the bottom of your pan. Now, I have been known not to put any aromatics in this, just the giblets. But on this occasion, I did, because I had them extra from what went into the cavity of the turkey. So now I've got my broth here. I'm going to set this aside. It's delicious turkey broth. Wipe this cutting board off. And I'm going to go ahead and get my neck. And it takes a long time to cook this, but man, it is worth it. It's one of my favorite things as far as Thanksgiving dinner goes, is the stuffing gravy. Oh, yeah, gotta have it. And there was a garlic clove in there. I did forget that. This guy had 2 hearts. And I put the liver in. By the time it cooks down to really tender like it is right now, it doesn't have that, and I detest liver. It doesn't have that strong flavor at all. It's very mild, and it's up to you whether you leave it in or take it out. I'm going to get you a little closer. So now we've got to let that cool enough to chop up our vegetables. I'm going to get rid of the rest of this that's in this strainer. I'm going to get rid of that, wash that up. We'll get our stock back in our pan, and we'll bring you back and let you see what I do next. Okay, so now we're going to take care of this, and this is just fall apart tender. See, you can see there's a little bit of meat in that, the tail, but not a lot, and it's really tender. It just has a lot of fat, that's all. So I'm going to go ahead and get around that bone, get any meat that is in there out, and that'll go into the gravy as well. I don't like wasting anything. I mean, especially since, you know, we're trying to be self-reliant. If this is something you harvest out of your backyard, you're not going to waste it, because it's a lot of work to raise them. It's a lot of work to get them to this point where you're actually going to feed your family. So I'm going to put a towel down. Gosh, I think the paper towels just won that. Okay, so I've got that. Now I'm going to take the meat off of the bone. And you know, when this is done, I've cooked this for about 3 hours. My turkey's almost done, but I will start this process first thing in the morning, because I've already washed my turkey and got it prepped the night before. So the giblet gravy can go on first thing, and I usually try to buy extra necks and gizzards and hearts and at least neck meat. And this year I couldn't find any, so I don't know what they're doing. The store I usually get them at, they aren't putting them out, or they didn't have them out. So you're just taking the meat off the neck bone, and that neck bone and all that has really lent itself to make this gravy just delicious. And any big chunks, I go ahead and I shred that with my knife or my fork. And then my grandmother made this every year, and it was always my favorite, and still is. I just really like it. Now, I know there's people that would rather have a very smooth gravy, and that's fine. You could totally leave this out of the equation, strain everything off and make your gravy then. You still get all the flavor, but to me, you're missing out. It's like turkey soup. It's the best thing on the planet. I can't wait for all the good stuff that we get to have from this turkey. So there's that bit of meat, the tail, and now I'm just going to cut up the rest of this. And I just try to dice it really small so nobody gets a big hunk of anything. And that's why the liver does work in this. And sometimes I just am not in the mood and I'll leave it out. I think I'm probably going to leave this out just because it's not that good for you to eat liver. So I'll give that to Sage. She can have that as a treat. So you're just dicing in little tiny pieces. And I think this was more like a chicken heart, not a turkey heart. But because turkey hearts are pretty big, that was tiny. So they gave us 2. He lost his heart, so we gave you 2 instead. Okay, so this is the gizzard. Hopefully everybody knows what the gizzard is. It can be tough, but after it's cooked like this all day, it is not at all. It's fall apart. It's delicious. I absolutely don't mind them, and I love them in my giblet gravy. So again, little tiny dice on your meat that's going in here, so it's not overwhelming. You don't want a big chunk like one of these in your gravy. You just want that here and there to have a piece of meat. Okay, now I'm almost there. Then I'm going to put it back in the dish. The stock, I did enhance the stock with some of my Wild Tree chicken bouillon because it is so low in sodium. it doesn't add a ton of sodium to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this back in this liquid. And I've got some butter down here, about 2 tablespoons. And we're gonna thicken this with some flour. You could use, in fact, in the past, I've used cornstarch, but we're gonna use milk today or heavy cream, and so I'm not gonna use cornstarch. I think that's too much, but we want some fat in here. That broth really doesn't have a lot of fat, so we're good on that one. And let's see, I got a little bit more butter. You want that butter to just come up to a little sizzle, but don't burn it. Butter, the butter will burn in a matter of seconds if you're not careful. So we're gonna get a whisk out here. I've got my flour handy. I'm using whole wheat flour because it was really handy in the pantry. And we're going to need equal portions of starch or flour to butter. Right? So I'm going to start that down. And this is what's going to thicken. So we'll say that's a tablespoon. We'll get this roux going. And that's really all it is. It's a roux. And it's going to look darker because of the whole wheat flour. At this point, regular flour would look kind of a lemony yellow color, or butter color, I should say. So we're going to cook some of that raw whole wheat taste out of that. But if you were gluten intolerant, use rice flour or you know, a different kind of flour. There's all kinds of gluten-free flours out there on the market. Okay, so I think I probably need a little bit more to thicken this up. Just a little. I don't exact measure much, so ooh, now we're talking. And then I'm going to turn this down because I don't want it to go too fast. Now we're going to go ahead and add our stock and our giblets. So here we go. And we're going to bring that right back up to a boil. And I don't need a whisk anymore. I'm going to grab a spoon or a spatula to stir this along. And you can watch it just start to thicken. We do need some cracked black pepper. I strained off most of that. I don't want to add any salt until I see where we're at, but I do want a little bit of poultry seasoning. Just a pinch, not much. Just a pinch. I put all the aromatics and spices down in while I'm cooking the giblets. You know, I put some rubbed sage, some herbs de Provence, some poultry seasoning, just to get this started even. So when this comes up, and as you can see, we have no lumps. That roux has not made any lumps in this, which is what we want. We don't want lumpy gravy. Nobody likes that. And so I'll bring you back when we're a little bit closer and it starts thickening. Okay, so I've got this up to a boil or a simmer. I'm turning this down so it will not continue to boil, and I'm adding in about a half a cup of cream. We want a beautiful, creamy turkey gravy. And now we're gonna have to thicken it a little bit more. Probably, you know, I just didn't want to add too much fat in there, so we're gonna thicken it with some Wonder Flour. So let's make sure this is gonna simmer. Get our seasoning right. Give it a little bit of a taste. Oh wow, that's delicious. Now I will tell you that sometimes I do this with cornstarch and no milk, but this one I really want it creamy and rich, and that is absolutely delicious. I'm probably going to use this as my base for my turkey pot pie, and that's why I did it that way. Just a different idea for gravy. Some people don't like white gravy. Add some kitchen bouquet and you have brown gravy. So now, bringing that back up, we don't want to boil it because we don't want to break the cream, but we do want to add some Wondra down in there to get a little thicker. All right, you guys, I've got a couple pieces of this breast meat down, and I did want to show you that that's crispy skin. So, it's delicious too. And so I've got the end results of this gravy as well. I'm just going to put that right down over top. And this is the giblet gravy that I made that is just delicious. So this is how we like our turkey. You can do your turkey any way you like. This is just giving you some ideas of how to do it, and I did need to test this out so I knew what I was doing on Tuesday, because I'm not only cooking, I've got to work, and I help all the students on the floor while I'm cooking, so I can't really second guess myself. I need to have my game on. So I'm going to take a bite of this. Splurge with the skin. A little bit of that giblet gravy. Give you a taste test on that as well. Wow. It's truly moist. And I can taste the herbs all the way through the meat. So I hope this inspires you to try something new. This was outside my comfort zone. I'd never cooked a turkey in one of those roasters, and so now I know what I'm in for, and it's going to be delicious. These are awesome, and the turkey bags just make the cleanup so easy. Really and truly, it's going to be a breeze. There was a little bit of broth because the bag did pop in certain spots, but that's easy cleanup. So I truly hope this inspires you to try something new. Maybe try a different recipe for your family this Thanksgiving. Try a new gravy recipe, or you know what? Maybe keep it the same and make tradition just stand out on its own. I hope everyone has a blessed Thanksgiving. If I don't see you before then, I know I will, but and as always, I hope you come back. I hope you give me a thumbs up. Maybe go to my Facebook page and like that page. All right, guys. As always, God bless.